Oh. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Asia Hart. I'm a part of I'm the owner of Asia Sweet Treats. I'm just here melting down the chocolate. I already have the strawberries ready right here. So I'm just melting the chocolate down right here. And while I already have the strawberries, so I'm just waiting for the chocolate to get melted down, and then we can get started on the strawberries, the chocolate covered strawberries. So the color I am using today for the chocolate strawberries is orange. They are black. Is orange. They are black. Excuse me. Dark chocolate and white chocolate. Excuse me. Dark chocolate and white chocolate to get them started. So the things that you would need to get everything ready for them is a chocolate wafer melted down machine that's sold at Michael's. And you can get the chocolates from Walmart, Target, or Michael's. So the chocolates I am using are right here. This is the dark chocolate I am using. And this is the white chocolate. So those are the chocolates I will be using today. So I'm just waiting for this to get melted down, and then I can get started on making the other one, the chocolate strawberries. The dark chocolate is almost ready. I'm just waiting for the white chocolate to get ready. Okay, the dark chocolate is just about ready to go. And so I'm just still waiting on the white chocolate, and I'm going to help move it along. You can help move things along with the dark chocolate and white chocolate by stirring them in. Just a second. So I'm going to keep stirring the dark chocolate as well as the white chocolate while waiting for it to melt down. So if anybody have any questions, they can also come into the comment section and ask me any questions if they see anything that they want to ask questions about. And I am doing a two-sided mold. I am doing a two-sided one where you can do white chocolate and the other side where you can do dark chocolate. Or you can, there's one where you can do just the dark chocolate and then you can switch it out. Or you can do like I'm doing, do both at the same time. But some people might probably prefer doing one at a time instead of both at the same time. This probably just my reference for how I'm doing mine. So as I'm waiting for the white chocolate to melt down more, I am going to get started on the dark chocolate. So here's the strawberries that I'm using today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the dark chocolate and then come back to the white chocolate and see how that's going while I'm waiting for that to break down more. And I'm going to put the spatula right here in case I need it again. So what you're going to do is dip your strawberry into the dark chocolate. Leave half of it. You're not going to cover the whole thing. You're going to shake the excess off. And then you're going to turn your strawberry until the last of it, the excess dripped off. And then when that's dripped off, you're going to slide it across the wafer machine, or you can just wait till it drips off and finish. And then you can place it on your tray, your design tray. And then you can take the next one and do the same thing with that one. And then you can just have your other ones ready to go next. It's okay if the stick get a little bit messy. It's okay if the stick get a little bit messy. It's mostly because of the way you put it in the chocolate. So your stick is going to get a little bit messy at the bottom or on the sides. Try to just make sure the top part of the stick don't get messy. Or try to be careful of not getting chocolate on your fingers and where it will go onto the stick. That way you won't have to worry about that. I am going to see about the white chocolate right now. And it's moving quite nicely. Just a little bit more time on the white chocolate. Oops. And then we can start working on that one. If there are any questions or anything about my business or anything like that, you guys can feel free to ask me or just leave it in the comments and I get back to you shortly if I don't see it. And I'd be gladly to answer them. So the white chocolate is still melting down and it's still coming along. So while we're waiting for that, I go ahead and finish on the dark chocolate with the strawberries. And then I would start doing the white chocolate when that one's more melted down and ready to go. And then as I do the white chocolate, I would start to, as I'm finishing up with the dark chocolate, I will put these ones in the freezer. And then as for the white chocolate, I would put them. I would start doing I would start doing the white chocolate and keeping starting that more around as I'm doing this. And I will start getting some more strawberries because it looks like I didn't prepare enough. So the chocolates that you want to, so when you use the chocolate, you want to first make sure they're able to melt down quickly and it won't burn. To keep them liquidy and texture to where you can use them. very good, very nicely for the presentation of them. It's okay if you make some mistakes on them. Just double dip them again if you see anything that's mistakes, or if you see somewhere where you forgot to put the chocolate on. Sometimes you might, if you're running low on chocolate, you might have to use the rubber spatula to get some more chocolate onto the strawberry. It's okay if you use the spatula. It mostly helps to get chocolate on there. Just try your best not to get it onto the stick the best way you can. And if you're able to make sure you don't get it on the stick, or if you want to use the spatula to smoothen it out a bit, you can. But it may make a little bit of a mess, so you may want to hold it over the machine to help you. And now I am going to grab some more strawberries so I can do the white chocolate. And then if you have some more chocolate left over, you can do a design with them. You can, if you want to. I might not have enough chocolate to do a design. I'm not sure. I have to wait and see. But if I do have extra, I am surely might be able to do a design. But until then, I am going to grab some more chocolate, and I'm going to put these ones in the freezer. And while those ones are in the freezer, you will have to grab another bowl. It don't have to be similar to that one, but you will have to grab another bowl until those ones come out of the freezer. To help things move along. And just for the record, if you guys don't like white chocolate, you can always just stick with the regular dark chocolate. So let's check on the white chocolate, see how that's coming. So the white chocolate is coming along nicely. I am still stirring this to make sure it don't get burnt. Making sure it don't burn or stick to the bottom of the wafer machine mixer melter that I'm using. Okay. I am grabbing some more strawberries. Just a second. Sometimes you can mix the chocolates if you want like a chocolate swirl or any of those kind of designs. The way I like to wash off my strawberries are by putting them in a bowl, like this one right here, to make sure they're all clean and that everything is all set in nicely to get the sticks put in them. When the other ones come out the freezer, I will be taking those ones out and putting those ones in, the ones that I am doing now in. First, I am rinsing off the strawberries before I use them, and making sure they're all nice and clean. And then I'm going to make sure I thoroughly dry them. While I am also checking on the other chocolate, make sure that's not burning. Well, both chocolates, actually. Because I still have a little bit of dark chocolate left. And then what make it more easier for me to dip the strawberries are by putting sticks inside of them to help me get to the bottom without getting chocolate on my fingers a lot. But some people might like to make a little bit of a mess with dipping with their hands instead of sticks. So it depends on that person. But my reference would be mostly to use the sticks. It saves you time of keep you from going back and forth to the sinks to make sure your hands are clean before you touch the next batch, and save you a lot less of a mess to clean up after. So next, what I'm going to do with the strawberries are punch holes in them with the sticks. So that way I can have them going and dip them in one after another. If you can't get the sticks in the middle, it's always okay to go in from the sides. Like I wasn't able to get this one in the middle. I went from the side, so that will be okay. So as I'm doing this, if you're thinking of any questions, go ahead and type them up. Or if you don't, that's okay. You can just continue watching the video until I finish. And you don't have to do a lot of strawberries if you don't want to. It depends on if you have a big old company that you want to do, or if you're just doing this for a small gathering or just family members. This is the last one, and I'm going to start dipping them in the white chocolate and a little bit in the dark chocolate for the ones that I have left over. Let me just make sure they're ready to go. So the white chocolate is ready to go. Let me just go ahead and start dipping into the white chocolate here. Some chocolates are thicker than others, so you might have to use a spatula or anything that's available to use to help you get the chocolate onto the strawberry a little bit better. As I am going to use the spatula I was using for the white chocolate to help me put more chocolate onto it. First, I'm going to take it out of the chocolate and then grab the spatula and dip that into the chocolate and then put that onto here. put it onto the strawberry for it to be coated nicely and even. If you like to, you can dip it in and then use your spatula to smooth it out. That way, if you prefer. But if you're more of a person to see it at eye level, you can do it that way, like I am. Moreover, you can use your strawberries to dip them in more to make sure you're getting it coated. Sometimes your strawberries might slip off of the stick, but that would be okay. Just pick it up with your fingers and place it on the plate, and just make sure you wash your fingers after you're done. That one is okay. I see I might have to turn it down a bit. Well, not down, but up. I might have to make sure your chocolate is melted down a little bit more before you put it in, or make sure it's to where the consistency is able to stick to your items or strawberries. Which ones you will use for your chocolates to put on. Right now, I'm using my chocolates to do strawberries. Everyone might not do strawberries, so that's why. Excuse me, up there. That's why I'm saying some people can use their cortese of what they would like to do. For an example, like this one that I just put into the dark chocolate, that one wouldn't have came out, so I'm using my fingers to roll it around in the chocolate to make sure it's coated. Actually, on second thought, I am going to use the spatula. Because the dark chocolate seems to be starting to thicken up. So I'm going to go ahead and use spatula instead of my hand. There will be some that will make a mistake that will not come out right. So don't be worried about it. It's just a work of progress. If you're new or experienced, it's just a work in progress on it. So don't be alarmed by it. Okay. Let me get the excess chocolate off of the spatula. Yeah, see how this one came out? This chocolate is done. I can't use the dark chocolate anymore. I'm just going to set this one aside for now. Just a second. If you have some that come out messy or a trial and error, you can always take another bowl or plate and set it aside until you're done with the other one. And then if you want to use a different spatula, just rinse this one, the one that you was using for dark chocolate, off. And then you can start using this one for the other chocolates that you are using. And if you rinse off the dark chocolate one, the one that you was using for dark chocolate, that would mostly save you cleanings. Most of the stuff you have to clean afterwards. It would save you mostly cleaning skills, mostly your cleaning. And I will be out the way for your cleaning. So that way you won't have to make anything else or other thing others that you don't want to use and make a mess with it, other than using the wafer machine that I'm doing and I'm having a little bit of a mess. I see that I might have to add some more white chocolate to here. Yes, I'm going to have to. Because it's not, because of the way it's coming out. This is the second one that came out like this. So I'm going to have to add some more white chocolate. So just a second, please. That one came out okay, but I need to add some more white chocolate. So just a second. You see, this is the kind of chocolate that I am using. I am using the white chocolate wafers. This is the white chocolate wafers I am using today. So I'm going to add some more of these. Let's see if that works. And while I'm waiting for this chocolate to mix in with the other white chocolate I had added, I am going to check in on my other strawberries, my chocolates that I put in earlier. So just a second. As for this one, I'm going to move this one over on this side. That way I would have some space and take care of this. And here are what the strawberries look like when they come out the freezer. But you may want to keep them inside the freezer until you're done with your other ones as well. Until you finish up with everything. That way they don't melt and set. They won't set and melt when you're not ready for them, or when you have before your customer comes to pick them up. So they're going to stay in the freezer until then. But until that point, I am going to keep working with the white chocolate. You can use as many strawberries as you like. Just make sure you are up to date before you use them. Okay, the chocolate is ready to go. So when the chocolate look like this, that means they're completely melted and they are ready to be used. So I am going to go ahead and start using them after I get the white chocolate off the spatula. Okay. Oh, I need another paper towel. Okay. That's for that spatula. If you want to do some more dark chocolate while you're using this, you can. If you have a big strawberry sometimes it's likely that it might fall off the stick. That sometimes happens to me when I'm using the big strawberries. And the strawberries, you can go to Meijer or your Kroger's or my Target to get the strawberries to use for the chocolate if you would like to. Or you can grow them in your own garden to use. That might be more cheaper to do instead of going to the stores and grabbing them, getting them. I am actually thinking about starting doing a garden of strawberries and fruits and vegetables that I'm using for my sweets and other baked goods. I'm just making sure this is not burning. So I'm stirring it around, making sure my chocolate's not burning. Sometimes you may want to sometimes you may have to work fast with some chocolates because they will burn quickly. And I think I'm going to have to start working faster with this chocolate here. I do have some more dark chocolate, so I might use that in a minute to get some more chocolate out of this. I might have to roll this one into the chocolate because this one is also falling off the stick. If you can't get it to roll with your spatula, you can always attempt to use a fork or maybe a spoon like I am about to use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It depends on how the strawberry is and the chocolate. If they're combining well, or they have if they're combining well, unlike this one, it's not. So I had to take this one out. That one didn't do so good, so I'm going to sit down over here and scoop off the excess chocolate. That's fine. Be careful of that because sometimes the strawberry can mess up the chocolate. Like it just did. So I'm going to add the rest of the white chocolate in and see if that helps. I see that the white chocolate is turning clumpy. After the last strawberry, if this doesn't work, I might have to rinse this out and start from scratch. Okay, let's give it a go. And if this don't work, I'm going to have to start from scratch. That's all. So let's get started. Okay, well, let's check this one out. Let's give it a try. Yes, I see I am going to have to restart then, because this one is doing the exact same thing. I'm gonna have to use this one again. Ooh, excuse me. I got hiccups. So this one is gonna go into the other pile. Well, it's not a pile, but it's just to keep the ones that was messy and fell off the stick in another pot, a separate area. Yeah, this chocolate is done. I had to start from new scratch. A new batter. So if this ever, I'm going to show you what it looked like when it's thickened up and you can't use it anymore. Either it has too much moisture or the heat is too high. So I am going to show you what it looked like. This is what it looked like when the heat is too high or you didn't keep an eye on it if you didn't stir it in for a while, very well. So I'm gonna have to start start all the way over, take all this out, and then start over. And then do the other two and finish up from there. Oh, and when you're cleaning out your chocolate from your dark and white chocolates, after you've used the chocolate wafers machine to melt it down, when you're done, you're gonna have to make sure it's very dry and clean so it don't burn when you put it back into the machine. And also, you're gonna have to make sure your hands are very dry as well, because the machine is hot when you're using it. So I am going to finish cleaning this out. And when you are cleaning this out, make sure you use hot water to clean it. You guys can feel free to ask me any questions if you like to. And there are going to be more videos on Asia Sweet Treats on YouTube, on my YouTube. So you guys can subscribe for you don't miss out on the videos that are coming. There are going to be cookies, cannolis, pastries, and also cake pops and brownies and other things. So those will be on the way. Those will be on the way when you subscribe. You will get the notification of when I'm live and what I'm baking today. Okay, now that all the chocolate that now that all the chocolate is out, I can start from scratch. Yes, this is a two set. Well, not a two set, but a two-sided, where you can use one side for another color and the other side for the other. Just make sure it's dry and ready to go for you to put the other chocolates in or chocolate that you are using. That way you won't have any mishaps or anything like that with your chocolate. This one is ready to go. This is ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. And if you ever have, for any reason, lean over your mixer and you accidentally bump into it with your arm or anything like that, make skin contact with it, make sure you run cold water on it to stop the burning process, and then afterwards put ice or burn cream on it to stop that from turning into a big old blister or anything like that. That's a burn. To help it stop from doing that. I have run out of my other chocolate, so I am going to be using a different. I'm going to be using this chocolate next. Since I have run out of my other chocolates. So just a second, let me open it. Okay. Sometimes one side may seem bigger than the other. So if it seems that way, it might be, it might not be. And as you're finishing up cooking, make sure you have everything that you're not using out of the way. Make sure you're cleaning up your area after you're finished. Or keeping everything organized. In other words. And since I don't have any more white chocolate, I am going to get rid of everything that is white to do with the white chocolate. So just a minute, please, as I'm waiting for this chocolate to get ready for us. And I can finish up the last 2 strawberries. And I'm just going to rinse off the spatula and I'll be right back. Again, you're going to have to use hot water to make sure all the chocolate is rinsed off and everything is set. And make sure your spatulas are thoroughly dry as well. Because if any type of water come in contact with your chocolates while they're melting, it's going to have the same result as these ones over here did earlier. So you want to make sure that they're not sticking and things like that. Okay. As for your other strawberries that had the excuse me, did not talk today. The thickness part, when I went in and tried to get the chocolate, excuse me, hiccups, that you have this problem with, you can either eat them later, put them aside and eat them later, or you can see if any of your family members or you can see if your mom want one, and then if not, you can see if your stepfather or anybody that's in the household want them later. You can just eat them while you're here, or you can just have them as a snack when you have a sweet tooth. So they're going to be sitting right here, covered up. I am going to go ahead and use my spatula. Oh dear. I gotta make sure it's dry. A little bit more. Okay, we're all set with that. Just give me a minute. Some chocolates may melt down different than others. Like for example, this one here, I'm going to try to pick it up from the bottom. That way I don't have to keep taking it in and out of the boiler. Well, out of the heat to stop it from stop the process of it breaking down and melting. So just a second, I'll bring it up to the camera for you guys to see. And if anybody was wondering, I am 25 years old. So just a second and I will show this to you. I am going to use this for the spatula. And here is the chocolate when it's melting down. Uh-oh. If you would like to, you can also, when you start new chocolates, you can also add them, you can add some color to the other ones after they're hardened, if you would like to. I might do that with some of this chocolate because I have a lot. Oh, and also, by the way, if you're not using any of your other strawberries anymore after you're done with the whole process, make sure you have put them back into the refrigerator. Okay. Okay, let's get started on these two. Yes, this one is working a little bit more easier now that it's not thick anymore. Okay, this one is a lot better with the coating. If you see here, this one is more coated now since it's not thickened up anymore. Just going to sit that right there. And I'm going to start on the last one. Okay. Sometimes you can use your finger to get the chocolate off the stick. And this one is nice and finished. Now, I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put some of this chocolate onto the white chocolate, but I can give it a try. So the way you want to do that is, okay, this is sticking to the plate. So you might have to pick it up with your hand some of them if you want to do a design, or you can leave it on the plate and do it that way. But since my two white ones are stuck, well, close together, I'm gonna do it by hand. You can either make googly eyes, or since it is Halloween, make him look like he has a face of a sort. That's what I am doing right now, trying to make sure he look like a mommy. And then if you do have any mess up, you can always use that. You do it that way. Make him look like he's a skeleton or anything like that. You can always make your mistakes look into something monstrous or anything like that for a holiday. That is, if you celebrate Halloween and things like that. And voila. See? Just like this. Now we're going to let this little guy dry. And then we're going to continue doing that with the other ones. Don't be alarmed if you have some chocolate come off the back, oh boy, or fall off the stick. You can easily just make a design like I was saying earlier and put a little bit of dark chocolate on the back. Make him look like he has a tuxedo on, or make him look like he has hair in a way. Just be careful of the chocolate melting in your hands. So that way it can be easier for you to draw on them. That way, and also without you worrying about it melting. I'm going to just do a little bit of designs here. Oh boy. Or you can just leave him the way he is. Like so. That way he has dark chocolate on the back and white chocolate on the front and all over everywhere else. Now, as I was doing, since I noticed the other two not stuck to the plate, I should say, I'm just going to leave this one here alone. And then make a face with him. And try to make a little skeleton face. Make a little design on him. If your chocolate starts boiling, just keep stirring it. And keep an eye on it. That way it won't burn. He's going to have a little bit of a different face than the other one. Or maybe close to the same one. You can always make it into artis. When you're in the kitchen, that's part of baking. And mostly just to have fun. See? Just like, okay, that one wasn't ready yet. Oh dear. But he still got chocolate on him, so he's fine. See? Just like that. Now I'm going to clean off my fingers. And then if you want to use the extra chocolate, I know this is basically just about chocolate strawberries, but if you would like to and you have extra chocolate, you can always go ahead and use like other like equipment, well, not equipment, but other bakery stuff you have. Say like, for example, I might be using, for that, I am going to use first, just a second. I am going to be using this mold, my chocolate paw prints. And then if you want to keep going with the other chocolates while you're waiting for those ones to harden, you can also go, if you have enough chocolate left, you can easily make maybe one or two of them paw prints, if you like. I think I'm just going to have one, enough for one. Or not, I have enough for like maybe two. It depends on how much chocolate you use. And what's your order or what's your product that you are trying to use, that you are doing, not trying. And that way you can have less of a mess to clean, like less of chocolate to take out, like rinse out of while you are using this. Although I did say you will have less of a mess if you just use this. But if you want to have a little fun with it while you have a little bit more chocolate, you can use the rest of the chocolate that you have to make other things. Just make sure you're finished up with all your other thing that you are making or order. Like so, like I am. Okay, and that will be the last of the chocolate. So, moreover, you will be finished with, that was one way of you can use in your chocolate to finish everything. If you wanted to use it in that way. If you don't have equipment like or any molds, you can always go on Amazon or anywhere or Michael's and pick up some. I like to go to Michael's to pick up my things I am using. You can always use other things. If you have extra chocolate on your spatula and you want to put that into your molds, you can. Like, say I'm using one of my strawberry straws. Well, not straws, but sticks. I'm using them to fix the chocolate to make sure it's all evenly and even. And making sure I get all the chocolate off the spatula. Or I can use both. When you're working in the kitchen, it's mostly fun and relaxing. You get to create your own things, and you get to experiment with new recipes, even if you are new to them. Just to let you know, it is okay to make a mess in the kitchen while you are baking. That's why we have them. Okay. And now that that's done, I am going to start cleaning up and getting done fixing everything and cleaning up my mess. And that contains my video. Thank you for watching.